Overcoming challenges to achieve financial independence is similar to overcoming a number of things in life. You have to learn how to collect quit signals. What do I mean? Let's talk about that in this video. First, let's define quit signals. What are they? Well, whenever you go on any endeavor that's worth going on, whether it's improving your financial well-being, your physical well-being, spiritual well-being, improving your relationships, you're going to meet resistance. And that resistance, I call that a quit signal. You see, naturally, as a human, you're going to want to follow the path of least resistance, taking the easiest path to get from point A to point B. But when it comes to doing things that are by their very nature hard to do, like growing your finances or getting into shape, the resistance that you experience can be enough to make you question the worthiness of the goal, which is where the temptation to simply quit comes in. You'll start getting inner dialogue like, I'll never make that much money, so I might as well stick with this dead-end job. I'll never get out of debt. I just owe way too much, or I'm just bad with money. And the ever popular, there is no point in making a budget or saving or investing. I'm bad at all these things, and I'm never going to get better. Everybody experiences the desire to quit when faced with challenging circumstances. I find when yes, even I, experience bouts of self-doubt. When I experience those sorts of feelings, I refer back to two lessons from my experiences getting into shape. The first lesson is when you want to quit, that's exactly when you're starting to grow. Growth happens at the edges in finances, in sales, in health, in any endeavor. In any endeavor, the real growth only happens when you've reached a point where you think you can no longer stand it, but you continue on anyway. In other words, when you feel like you want to quit, that is exactly the right time for you to stick to your guns. The phrase, when the going gets tough, the tough get going, comes to mind. It's at this point where the growth is happening, even if the growth is realizing that the path that you're on is not the right path. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But to take this back to physical fitness, you become better at cardio when you resist the temptation to stop doing cardio. The first 5 minutes when you have all the energy in the world is your cardiovascular baseline. You get basically zero physical benefits from doing 5 minutes of cardio. The benefits of cardio, well, they typically happen and are had after at least 30 minutes of consistent output, depending on the type of exercises you're doing and your fitness level. The point is, if you quit at 5 minutes, you're missing out on all the benefits you could have accrued. It's similar when lifting weights. Your muscles grow when you do a repetition after you've hit failure. That's why getting a spot in the gym is so important. If you only lift weights that you know you can do for a certain number of sets, you're only using your current capacity. Your growth happens when you push past that barrier. It's the same with finance. When you don't think you can stick with your budget because an unexpected expense came up, that right there is your time. Look at your budget and ask yourself, what can I cut out that I don't need right now? That maybe I can move into another budget cycle, like next month, next week, whenever I get paid, etc. Or when you put $1,000 into an S&P 500 index fund and that index drops by 100 points the very next day. Well, that is the time for you to take another $1,000 and put more in. Now, there's actually a very solid financial principle behind that. More in a separate video, so like and subscribe. Or when your credit score is barely at 600 because you have debt that you haven't paid off. That's the time to look into either the snowball method or the avalanche method of debt repayment, or maybe both. Separate video for a separate time. But the other lesson that you can take from physical fitness that you can apply to financial fitness is that failure is part of the journey. When you fail in the gym, cardio, lifting weights, that's a good thing. You know why? Because you now know exactly what your limitations are at this point in time. And you now either have a new goal to get to, or you know you need to take a separate path on your way to success. It's the exact same in finances. You're not making enough money? Well, you need either more valuable skills, more income streams, or likely both. And they both can be had if enough focus and priority are applied to acquire them. Did your first single stock investment drop like a rock? Now you know that you're either not a great stock picker and you should stick with either index funds, or that you need to step up your fundamental analysis, or learn technical analysis, or join an investment group that caters to those things, or all of the above. Or perhaps you're frustrated by your ability to save up your emergency fund quickly. Well, you now know that you need more advanced saving techniques to get you to where you need to go. And funnily enough, I have a video on that very topic that I want you to check out. But before you click into that, just one last point. I talked about collecting quit signals. What I mean when I say that is, when you get those feelings of self-doubt and you're wanting to quit, collect those feelings. Burn them into your memory, but don't quit. Keep pushing through those feelings, and then think back on that quit signal the next time you feel like giving up. Because frankly, when you push past one quit signal, another one is coming right after that. You need to collect that one as well. And you keep collecting them until you hit your goals, which you may have thought you would never reach. I'm Derek West. This is Finance Squared. And remember, a goal without a plan is a wish. A goal with a plan and no action is a wish list. Like, subscribe, click the notification bell, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.